So let's just do a little comparison. If we went back almost to 2000, like 2001, let's compare what was happening then compared to what's happening today to help people who are at least real estate market conscious understand why is it so much harder to qualify today than it was back then?
Great question. And the reason we like to look back to 2001 is because that's the last time we experienced interest rates that were at this level.
Yep.
We ran into really 20 years of an accommodating interest rate environment. A good bit lower than what we've seen the last 6 to 12 months.
Right.
So when we look back to 2001, the reason that it is a little bit more challenging for folks now is just because of the average price of a home.
Yep.
Right. I went back to 2001, looked, okay, Atlanta Metro, what was the average price of a home?
Yep.
You and I were both doing a lot of deals back then.
Yep.
At average of $174,000.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're doing those deals. That same average home is $416,000.
Exactly. Isn't that amazing?
Okay, so
that amazing.
It is.
And so think about it. There probably has not been nearly as much. Now, if incomes had gone up by the same amount that prices had gone up, we'd have no problems. But I'm guessing the issue is that the incomes have not progressed upward as quickly as home prices have.
That's right. You're exactly right. I think the average income was around $42,000 back in the early 2000s, and now we're up to about $57,000. So that's not the kind of wage growth that you would expect when you've seen house prices over double. In fact, if you do the math on that, the average income has increased 35%, but the average price of a house increased 139%. So, yeah, that's what we're going to call the affordability index. It's just a little bit more challenging to afford a home today than what we've grown accustomed to over the past 20 years.
When somebody let's say they get their mortgage at 7.5%, what does the mortgage rate need to be in order to make it really worthwhile from a financing standpoint? Would it be worth looking at it if it drops by a point? Should you wait?
To refinance?
Yes, to refinance. Sorry, I might not have said that, but to refinance.
Yeah. Well, first I'd say everybody's situation is different. Yep. So one thing that we're going to do cost-free is do a individual analysis of somebody's needs and where they're at and where they want to be to see if it's right for them to refinance. But general math, we want to start the conversation at about a point. So if we're at 7.5 today and we hit to 6.5 to 6.25, we're going to start having conversations about, okay, is it time?
Yep.
Or maybe we wait and let them keep dropping.
Why are prices continuing to rise? They have not dropped in the city of Atlanta, not in condos and townhomes or single family detached homes. Why do you think prices have not dropped?
Well, price stability is all about supply and demand. And we simply are not putting enough homes on the market to support the increase in household size, especially in the Southeast where everybody wants to come and live. There might be pockets of the country where you see a little bit of declines, but that's certainly not down here where we are.
Yep. And so specifically in the last 12 months, this is a rolling 12-month average, there's been 2.068 million households created. But as long as we have less inventory, standing inventory on the ground today than we need in the United States, it is going to be a problem, meaning it's going to be a problem that continues to push prices up.